Hey, beautiful people. It is me, Smart Video Girl. Just wanted to let you know that we are not live tonight. I am actually doing a replay of the Work Is You Thursday Check Your Butt. So please stay locked, stay tuned, and make sure you tune in to catch this replay of the Work Is You Thursdays Check Your Butt. All right, enjoy. Until next week, peace. Hey everyone, welcome to Do the Work Thursday. Yes, the work is you. This is Do the Work Thursday. I'm so glad for you guys to be here with me today. All right, I'm super excited because today we have a very, very interesting topic. I'm super excited to bring you this topic because, I think it's important. I think it's very important that we take a look at our butts. All right. So today we are going to be checking our butts. We're going to check your butt. How do you use butt in your life? Okay. And so this is going to be a very, very interesting introspective. I wanted to have fun with this, but I really wanted to be able to examine how we use butt in our lives. Okay. Because this is my monthly workshop for the Do the Work Is You Thursdays. And you guys see I have them shirt on, Do the Work, Keep the Faith. Because it really is about doing the work that is you and keeping the faith. And today's topic, check your butt, really is going to help us delve into that. So before we get too far into this, before I get into us checking your butts and you start turning around and looking and see how big your butt is, I just want to tell you a little bit about me, just in case this is the first time being here to witness this lovely presentation. So my name is Crystal Glenn, aka Smart Video Girl. I am an authenticity coach, and I started hosting internet radio in 2007. At the time, I came from a background of entrepreneurship, and so I've always had an entrepreneurial spirit. But I fell in love with media when I started doing Can We Talk Radio with my girls back in 2007. I fell in love with hearing and sharing other people's stories. And then I started Only Greatness Media Production in 2013 as a way to continue to flourish and push that right brain of mine. So that's where you get the Smart Video Girl, because I have a background in accounting and I have a passion for cinematography. The left and the right brain come together and you have me. I am a contributing writer. I'm the creator of Be Earth You, which is a lifestyle brand that promotes living your authentic self. And I'm an author coach of Do the Work, Keep the Faith, which is a book and a coaching program. So that is a little bit about she, who is me. All right. So please drop in the comments, drop in the chats. Tell me where you're calling, where you're from. I said calling from. Tell me where you're watching from. If you're watching this on the replay, tell me where you're watching from. I really would like to know who you are, where you are, and get in touch with you so that we can stay connected. All right. All right. I love that. So let's get into it. Let's get into it. Today, the topic is check your butt. Check your butt. So now when we're talking about check your butt, I'm not talking about your physical derriere. I'm not talking about your behind. I'm not talking about the one that's attached to your back. Okay. I'm not talking about that butt. What I'm talking about is the butt that you use in conversation, the butt that comes out your mouth when you're speaking about your life. Okay. And we're going to get into, I have plenty of examples that I'm going to share with you guys. I make sure that you have some pen and paper so that you can take some notes today, because I think it's going to be some really good information that you can jot down that will be very helpful for you in the future. Okay. So today's topic is check your butt. How are you using butt in your life? Okay. But in your life. So I would also to like for you to, if you haven't already, to like and follow Do the Work, Keep the Faith on IG and on Facebook so that you can stay tuned and stay connected to this. So I will also encourage you, if you could share this with a friend of a friend. Tag your friends, let your friends know that we're here and we're looking at our butts because they may be interested to see how, they use their butts. All right, so here we go. We're going to get right into it. There's a famous quote by Henry Ford that says, whether you think you can or think you cannot, either way, you are right. And I started off with this quote. I'm starting off with this quote because I want us to understand that when we use the word but in conversation, when we use the word but in a sentence, it's usually to negate or to oppose the previous statement. So, an example, I want to be so happy, but these people get on my nerves. So, your but, in essence, is allowing you to blame other people for your happiness. So whether you believe you could be happy or not, either way you look at it, you're right. Okay, so I just want to put that out there for us to think about. So really, whether you think you can or think you cannot, either way, you're right. You have the power to choose. So that's why we're checking our butts today to see how much control we really have in our conversation. How are we using but? Are we using but to help ourselves grow, or are we using but as a way to keep us from our destinies? All right. Okay. All right. So, in essence, what we're talking about is keeping the faith. Keep the faith, which is part of my Do the Work, Keep the Faith. And I talk about the work is you all the time. And so I really wanted to bring in keeping the faith and what that really looks like. And one of the ways we can do that, right, is checking our butts. Okay. We're going to keep the faith because faith is, by definition, faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. So let's take a look at our butts, okay? So when we say, I really would like a big house, but I don't have any money. I don't know how I'm going to get that house. What we're saying is we have no faith. The but is standing in the way of our faith, okay? Because you have hope, because it's clear. You have hope. But your but has negated. Your but has interfered with your faith. Your but is revealing that you have no faith, even though you have a hope. Okay, so let's be very clear. I want to distinguish between the two when hope and faith are different things. So we hope a lot. A lot of people have hope and then they use buts, and the but negates that hope and it just brings it to a hopelessness wish. Okay, but when we keep the faith, that's how we have to check our butts, right? We have to check our butts. So, I would really like a big house. I would really love to have a huge, wonderful, huge house, 5 bedrooms, a wonderful big kitchen, um, an in-home studio. But God's gonna work it out. Because honestly, because we're gonna be realistic, honestly, right now. Who am I? Right? So the evidence of things not seen, that is faith. So but God. Okay, but God. And so that right there, if your butt follows God, if God follows your butt, I'll put it like that. But God, your butt is in a really good position. Your butt is in a perfect place to help you keep the faith, because that really is what the essence of what we're talking about here today. All right. But God. Amen. All right. Okay. All right. So John 20:29 says, because you have seen me, you have believed. Bless those who have not seen, but have believed. That is very powerful. And I put this up here before we really get into it because, I want this to be a whole spiritual experience for you guys, because a lot of times seeing is believing. A lot of people have trouble believing in things that they do not see. They have trouble keeping the faith if it is not visible to their human eye, right? And so, therefore, when we don't understand, or when we have this hope or desire or wish that is planted in us, right? And then we negate it with the but, right? We it's like we have to see in order to believe. But I ask you all, who has seen, there's so many things that we do not see that we believe in. Okay. So we hear sound, right? We don't see sound. And I know somebody's like, well, you can't see sound. We hear sound. We hear the product of sound waves traveling, but we don't see the sound. It's a frequency. But we believe in sound because we can hear it. Okay. All right. You believe that a seed will grow into a tree, but you don't see the germination in the ground. So we have to really expand our minds and not put ourselves in a box, right? And just and get trapped in the seeing is believing paradigm that allows that keeps us from being able to grow into who we are. Because a lot of times, in order to grow into who you should be, or who you're meant to be, it's not going to look like who you are right now. So you have to believe that there is something in you that's going to allow you to grow. Okay. So again, do the work and keep the faith. That's really the essence of what my program is. Because as you're working on yourself, you have to believe that there is that the new you, the you that is in there, that is growing on the inside, will come out. But you can't see it because a lot of the change that happens in us happens on the inside before it comes out for it to be seen, even from ourselves and by others. Okay, so this is really, really important. I really want you to understand what we're saying, what I'm saying here today. So, what does your butt look like? Okay, what does your butt look like? So, an example of negative butts Okay. Example of butts that are just kind of flat and just don't lead to growth, and um they make excuses. Oh, I want to go, but I don't have a car. Well, you can ask a ride, ask for a ride, or that's an excuse. Oh, I want to build my business. I want to start a business, but I don't know how. So that's really an excuse, instead of looking for ways to start your business, or asking someone for a ride so that you can get to the party. Okay. Um, Another one is when you're blaming others, right? Oh, I I wanted to go to this school, but my mom said, but my parents said. And that one could be a little tricky because, especially as a child, um, we do things because our parents tell us to do them, and so naturally it becomes this but somebody said. Or I really would like to, let's see, I would like to be happy, but JoJo, he just, oh, I really want to go there, but JoJo said that we can't go. So that's somebody else's. Now you're placing the blame on someone else, and you're stating what may be a wish, desire, but you want to blame somebody else for it. Okay. And another one, which is a big one, which is, what does your butt look like? It displays fear, doubt, or lack of faith. And that's the one I was talking about earlier. It's like, oh, I really want a new job, but the economy looks real bad and I don't know how that's going to happen. That one right there is a big one. Or another one here is, oh, I know I need to wait. Oh no, I'm gonna save that one. I'm gonna save that one. So yes, I know I know I want a new job. I would love to get a new job, but the economy's real bad, and I don't know how that's gonna happen. Or I really, really want to go back to school, but I don't know where the funds are gonna come from. Or I really want to start a new business, but everybody is doing that. So it displays doubt, it displays fear, and it displays a lack of faith. And we talked about what faith is, which is a substance of things hoped for and evidence of things not seen. So we know that sometimes you're not going to see it. You're not going to see it. You're not going to see it. So, here we go. We're going to change our butt, right? We're going to change our butt. We're going to make it so that our butts are nice and big. Okay. All right. Because we like it. We like it. So we want a butt that's going to display faith. Okay. We want a butt that's going to conquer fear and doubt. And we want a butt that's going to surrender control. Okay. So your butt may look like, let's use the examples. I really want to start my business. But you know what? Yeah, I really want to start my business. The economy is horrible. But I know that what I have to offer is needed. Or I know that despite it all, it's going to work itself out. Or I know that there will be a way. Or, but I'm going to keep pushing. Okay. I want to go back to school. I have to sit out this semester, but I'm going to keep going until I get back to school. That displays faith. That displays you conquering a fear or doubt. And it definitely uh, displays surrendering control. And the surrender and control, when I go back to that, is like, I don't know how it's going to work out. Oh my goodness, but God. That's releasing all control from you and saying that ultimately we know that God is in control. The universe is in control. All things are working in our favor. All right. So that is what we're looking at. So how are you using but in your life? I want you to share with me how you use but. Have you noticed how you use but? Are you using but in the way that is going back to our previous slide, making excuses, blaming others, displaying a lack of faith, doubt, fear? Or are you using your but to display faith, conquer your fears, and surrender control? Okay. All right. And I forgot to. So people who make good excuses are never good at anything else because they could tell you why all day. They got a reason for everything. Okay. They got a reason for everything. They can tell you they want to do everything, but and so they're very good at making excuses. Be wary of people who are always making excuses for what they cannot do and bless their hearts. All right. And then nothing is impossible for the man who believes in himself and in his dreams. And that is very powerful because if you believe in yourself, you can see. And when you start to grow, I will say this, when you start to grow, and we were talking about that seed and I'm talking about change and we're talking about the work is you, and when you're on the journey of moving forward, when you're on the journey of growth and expansion in yourself, you're going to start to have faith. Like they said, the faith of a mustard seed. So that faith is internal. And a lot of times once you have to grow in that. And when you're growing in that, right, you're going to start to feel different on the inside. So you may be someone who is using but in the ways that we talked about here to make excuses for yourself, to blame others, to show a display of lack, um, fear, doubt, right? But as you're growing on the inside and you're starting to dream, you're starting to believe in yourself on the inside, right? Your butts are going to start to look different. Your butts are going to start to shift and change because now you understand that, or you have this feeling on the inside of you that is giving you that faith. So you got to keep it. Ooh, excuse me. You got to keep that faith stirring and growing on the inside of you. Okay. Keep that faith growing on the inside. And as you continue to do the work, as you continue to show up here every month and do the work, as you continue to work on your personal development and growth, as you continue to grow in God, as you continue to manifest these goals and desires that you have, your faith will start to build and your display will be shown in how you use your but. Because you will start to say, but God did that. And sometimes you have to, and I'm going to talk about this too. Sometimes we'll talk about this. I'm going to get to it. Okay. I'm going to get ahead of myself. I'm getting ahead of myself. All right. So, last thing too. So we're using our butts. How are we using? But we got to watch out for superficial butts. We have to watch out for superficial butts because they are ego based. Okay. Superficial butts are inflated with ego. Okay. So that sounds like, and this one really is spiritually based. It'll be more like, I know I need to wait. I know I need to wait. But I got to get out here and do something. I can't just sit on my butt. I gotta get out here and do something when you know that you should be waiting. And this is where you have that inkling and that stirring on the inside they were talking about, right? When you have that stirring on the inside, but you get impatient, right? And so you done moved away. And you've moved away from using but in a way that maybe negative, and you do understand now. You have a little bit more faith. You have a little bit more faith, right? But sometimes that faith gets a little weary, and so you use your but in a way that's ego based because now you feel like it's something that you need to do. It's like, oh no, I need to do it. So you skip over the part where you're surrendering, right? And then you go straight to I'm not going to blame anybody anymore, but I'm going to get it done. Okay. So you're like, oh, well, I want that. I want a house. I want a big, beautiful house. So I'm about to go rob somebody, but I'm about to go. That is ego based. That is where you're not allowing, okay? That's where you're not allowing your faith to be put to work, and you are being driven by your ego. So that's a superficial butt. Okay. That's when you just go and you don't like your butt. You don't like how your butt is. And so instead of patiently waiting and doing what you need to do in order to grow your butt, to get your faith up, right? What you do is you're going to go down and get you some implants. All right. The problem with that is it can become deflated. It can seep into other things in your life. And we don't want that. We want to keep our butts healthy, nice and strong. Okay. We want to be nice. We want nice round booties. Okay. All right. So be careful of superficial butts. All right. Yes. We want to be careful of superficial butts. All right. So let's get into it. Let's talk about how we can 3 ways to overcome a flat butt. Okay. 3 ways to overcome a butt that is lacking faith, to overcoming a butt that gives excuses, overcoming a butt that blames other people. What we want to do is we want to, one, be grateful. Gratitude, you guys know, and this is where you need to be writing and taking your pen and paper out and write this out because this is going to be what's helpful for you in building your butt, getting a strong butt, not a flat butt. Okay. You want to be grateful. Gratitude is key. You want to experience, don't judge. You want to experience and not judge. And I'll get into that in a little bit. And then thirdly, you want to develop a sense of knowing. Okay. You want to develop a sense of knowing. And this is what's going to help you not have such a flat butt, not have a butt that keeps you in a place of in a cycle of doing things the way that they've always been. This is a level of growth so that you can get a nice booty, a nice butt. All right. All right. So gratitude, the first one, attitude is everything. Attitude is everything. We want to be grateful in advance. And so what this is talking about here, we want to be grateful in advance. So again, let's go back to my house example. So I want a big house. I want 5 bedrooms. I want a lovely kitchen with an island and plenty outlets so I can use all my kitchen gadgets. And I want, a double oven, and I want a beautiful dining room, and then I want and so instead of saying, but I don't know how I'm gonna get that, what I do is I'm grateful in advance. I'm grateful in advance because if I'm grateful in advance for it, right? I'm not looking at how it's not possible. I'm not looking at what it looks like right now because my current circumstances may show me, or the current circumstances may appear that is just something that's just not going to happen for you, girl. But my attitude is that I am grateful in advance. My attitude is that, but God, okay? That is what gratitude is. And so if you are using but in a way that is discouraging, let's even go back to I want to go to the party, but I don't have no car. Well, be grateful. Be grateful in advance that, one day I'm going to have a car. One day I'm going to have that car, and then I'll be able to go wherever I want to go. One day I'm going to have that car, and I'll be able to do and be and go wherever I want to go. You have to be grateful in advance because your attitude is everything. Again, if I go back to the quote at the beginning where Henry Ford said, whether you believe you can or cannot, either way, you are right. Right? So if I am grateful in advance, that means there's something that says that I believe that I can. I believe that I can have the car. I believe that I can have the house. I believe that my circumstance will change. I believe that I am growing. I believe. And I'm grateful for it in advance, even though it may not look like it right now. Attitude is everything. You may not even say but, you know, because you understand. So gratitude, attitude is everything. Attitude is everything. And that's a good point. um Gratitude deposits ahead of time that result in the harvest of faith that we reap. Okay, so we're talking about faith and having faith in something that is unseen. Right, faith is the substance of things hoped for. So I'm grateful in advance for what it is that I have hoped for. Amen. Okay. So we want to be grateful. We want to show some gratitude. We want to be grateful in advance. And I would suggest that you journal. I would suggest that you take notes. Um, be mindful. Always talking about your mind. Be mindful of your attitude towards things. Watch your butt as you're going through this next week or this next month. Watch your butt and then see how you can start to be grateful from those things, because usually this kind of shows up in the lack of faith, lack the fear and the doubt. Okay. All right. Okay, so the next one is, smile and the world smiles back at you. Okay, that's, you give gratitude, and that's just exactly what the comment would say. You smile and the world smile back at you. You give gratitude, and the world and the universe will show gratitude back to you. So smile and the world smiles back at you. It doesn't hurt to smile. So make sure you share a smile today as you're checking your bets. All right. All right. Experience, don't judge. Go with the flow. Do not attempt to resist and stay present. This one is very important. And let me explain to you why. So, experience, don't judge. A lot of times our buts are formed by past experiences. A lot of times our but is based on experiences that we have had that we've placed judgment on, and now this is the way it is, right? So when you are looking at your butt, when you are in this and you're in conversation and you're like, oh, okay, let's see, I really would love to be in a relationship, but I've had some bad experiences. Well, what we want to do is stay present in this moment. Okay. And we want to look forward. So we want to be grateful in advance that a new relationship is going to come and it's going to be all that you desire. Right. And then we want to stay present. We don't want to judge. We don't want to judge our present experience based on our past experiences. We don't want to resist what is happening in our life either. Okay. So a lot of times we judge things as good and bad when really it is just the experience. And we have to learn how to go with the flow. But we'll put a blockage in that flow. You know, you might say, well, I want a new job, but the economy is bad. Like, don't put what's going on in the economy into your experience. Don't create a blockage in what could be for you, because a lot of times, the circumstances may not be set up for it to look the way you want it to look. I just said this the other day. Yesterday, I learned this that chaos is change. So a lot of times when things are chaotic, when things are not going the way that we think they should be going, and then we get discombobulated and we don't see what we're looking for, right? We resist it, we judge it, we want to because we want it to be easy, we want it to be easy. But we have to understand is that um when we don't resist, that is easy. When we go with the flow, that is easy. When we don't judge and put um perimeters, put things in a box, and we let it flow, we let the experience be, we stay present in the moment, then it is easier. Okay. So don't just experience, be present, don't judge. And a lot of times when you don't judge, then you won't put the but at the end. Okay. You won't put the but at the end. You won't say, I would like to try new things, but they said that food is nasty. You've already judged the food. You didn't even try it. You didn't even attempt to. You never know. You never know. So if you're present in the moment and you say, I really don't know what this is, but I'm going to try it. Don't resist. Go with the flow. I'm going to try it. And not judge. Not judge. And I know sometimes that's hard, especially when it comes to food. Y'all know I like food. So sometimes, because they say we eat with our eyes and everything like that. So sometimes that can be a little challenging. But it is a test of you being present and letting things flow. Okay. All right. Everything happens for a reason and it's all working in my favor. That's me. I put them all together. That is also the slogan for my apparel brand, Be Earth You, because I say that because in all experiences in life and everything that happens to us, it is working in our favor. It happens for some reason. And so therefore we have to be cognizant of this. And so if we get into this mindset, if we experience and not judge, going back to that, if we experience and not judge, then we won't look at experiences that happen to us as bad. We will see them as stepping stones that are leading us to where we ultimately would like to be. So we are staying in the flow of the energy. We're staying in the flow of what divine has for us. We're staying in the flow, right? We're being intentional to to kind of step out the way. And we're knowing it's all working out in our favor. Regardless, if you got to go through some rough patches, on the other side of that, it's going to work out in your favor. And I spoke about this earlier this week on the Mindful Monday, talking about faith, keeping the faith if you're on a journey. If they say life is about the journey, not the destination. So when you're on your way to a destination, and this is going to lead me into my next point. When you're on your way to a destination, right, you know that greater is coming. Greater is beyond. Your destination is to greater, whatever that may look like. All right. Along the way to greatness, there may be some obstacles. They may not be so happy. They may not be so comforting, right? But you know that your destination is greater. So what you're going to do is you're going to sit back, you're going to ride, and you're going to enjoy the ride. You're not going to resist. You're going to experience and not judge, right? And you're going to be present in the journey to your destination. All right. I hope that made sense to you. And I hope that you understand kind of what we're saying. And um, when you're talking about but in that, I'm trying to get to, here we go. I'm trying to get to greater, but I didn't ask for this. Well, we don't never ask for. We just ask for. We just asked for the destination. We didn't ask for where the journey was going to drop us off. You know, I've taken Greyhound, I've taken Amtrak. Your ticket may say one place, but you may have to make a whole lot of different stops on the way before you get to your destination. It's like, well, I if that's the case, you want to take a one way. It's gonna cost you a little bit more. It's maybe a little more painful, but not a one way, but a non-stop. You want to get to a non-stop. Okay, you want to get you a non-stop ticket, but usually it don't work like that. It usually don't work like that. So, yeah, we want to be mindful that on our way to the destination, that we embrace the journey. Okay, so we don't want to judge the journey. We want to embrace it. All right. And the last one is checking your butt is a sense of knowing. This is surrender control. And so for this, I put remember the definition of faith. So the last part of the definition of faith is evidence of things not seen. Evidence of things not seen, meaning that you have to believe. And that's kind of what I was saying before. You have to believe. There has to be a belief that the destination is going to be there, that where what you want is there. And I take it even further in the sense of knowing, because belief to me is the first stop on the journey to knowing, right? So if I'm gonna say, okay, so we have hope, and hope can be followed by but. And a lot of times hope will get you turned around. Hope will have you going in circles. Okay. And so I get this. So hope will have you going in circles. I hope it works out. I hope. But hope will have you spinning around, chasing your tail, going in circles, right? Faith is like the roadmap. Okay. So faith is saying, okay, all right. Faith is transforming, transmuting hope into something that's like now you've put in some belief. You put some belief in that hope, that you hope and believe. Okay. And so now you have to keep that faith, because faith is like the part that's going to make sure that you get to the knowing. Okay. So belief is the first step. You have to believe that what you hope for is even possible. It'll set you straight. You'll stop chasing your tail once you actually believe what you hope for. A lot of times people don't believe what they hope for. They just hoping. So belief really is important. And belief is the first step to knowing. And so you develop your knowing, right? You develop your knowing by keeping the faith, by pushing forward in your journey, on your journey. And as you continue on your journey, as you continue to do the work, as you continue to show up, as you continue to move forward, as you continue to push past the obstacles that come in your way, right? Your faith grows. You get closer to seeing. So it's like, that whole seeing is believing. You start to see things and your belief increases. Your faith increases because you didn't know before you started on this journey that this was over there. You didn't know. You didn't know. But you have faith and you kept going. And so then as you're going, you're starting to see. And so now your faith is getting stronger. You be like, oh, you want to go further on this journey. You want to go deeper into yourself. You want to go deeper into discovering who you are. You want to go deeper into healing your wounds. You want to go deeper, right? Because the destination is an authentic you. The destination is someone who knows who they are, knows what their purpose is, and trust and believe me, that's not the final destination. That's just the destination on this do the work, keep the faith journey, right? So when you get there, but you know that when you get there, it's going to be great. So you have to keep the faith and continue to do your work. And then you get to a place of knowing. You get to a place of knowing when you have seen and you know without a shadow of a doubt that no matter what you go through, and it may take you a while on the journey to get to a place of knowing. The place of knowing says that I have been through it. I have been up, I have been down, I have been through hell and hot water. And everybody's journey is going to be different. So we want to remember that. But everybody's journey is going to be different. But the place of knowing comes when you know without a shadow of a doubt. That's when you can say, but God. That's when you get to a point where when your butt says, but God. Because now you know without a shadow of a doubt that regardless of what you went through, what you are going through, right? Whatever may come up in your path, right? Don't get me started on here, y'all. No matter what, it's going to work out. What? It's going to work out in what? Your favor. Why? Because everything happens for a reason. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. That's knowing. That's that's a sense of knowing. And excuse me if I get a little excited about that, because that's where I'm at right now. That's where I am. That's where I'm at right now. So it is very much a sense of knowing. It gives you that, you have gratitude for where you have come from, right? You experience and you don't judge, right? And then because you know that it's going to work out. And I say surrender control because it's very important. When we try to do things on our own understanding, on our own knowingness, right? We don't know how it's going to work out. We can never figure it out. We can never figure out the how. We can never figure out how things are going to work out for ourselves in our own power, in our own right. Now, you can go to work and work 40 hours and you may get a paycheck. I said may. As an entrepreneur, you may work hard, you may do your business, you may promote, you may do all these things, and you still might not get no clients. You still might not get no business. So the control that you want to exhibit, but I got it, is what you have to release. You have to release the sense that you have to do it. All right. And the sense of knowing that it's going to work out. Right. And I want to be very clear, because there are things that you have to do. This is called do the work, keep the faith. And I say that responsibly because I need people to understand that the work is you. You're still doing this work. We're talking about on the journey. You're doing the work. The work is you. The work is always you. It's not the things. That goes back to it's not the things. It's not the business. The work is not the business. I need somebody to hear me right now. The work is not the business. The work is you. And until you can work on you, the business is just not going. I mean, you're just going to be working. You're going to be working a lot. And you're going to get the same results because you're not working on you. You can work day and night on your business to a level of frustration, depression, anxiety, and it's not going to change the business. So the work is you. All right. So surrender and know that the evidence of things not seen me is just, I know that it's going to work out in my favor. And let these not be empty words. Let this let these not be empty words, because that again goes back to what I was talking about with the superficial buts, okay, that are ego based. Because a lot of times we have to we people know a lot of things, they just don't do a lot of things, and they know the right words to say, but they're not applying these things to their lives. So it's very important that you do the work. Okay. Very important that you do the work. All right, what's next? Believe and you receive. Doubt and go without. That is very important. Again, believe and you will receive. Doubt and go without. Doubt and go without. Thank you. So, listen, we're coming to a close of this. Let me see what I got going on. So, we're checking our butts today. We are checking our butts. I hope you guys had your pen and paper out so that you could take notes as you were checking your butt, because we talked about what it looks like, what your butt looks like. Are you using your butt to make excuses? Are you using your butt to blame others? Are you using your butt to exhibit fear, doubt, or lack of faith? Or are you using your butt to display your faith? Okay. Are you using your butt in a way that's going to allow you to continue on your journey and push forward? What and how are you using your butt? Check your butt and make sure it's not one of them superficial booties. Make sure it's not ego based. Make sure that you are not placing, but I can do this. And make sure it says, but God can. Okay. But the universe, but divine, however, and yeah, because I'm not here to tell you what to believe. All right. So make sure you check your butt, because regardless of how you do it, or regardless of what you do, we all have a butt. We all have butts. No matter what you believe, we all have butts. Okay? So don't let religion get you caught up in what I'm saying to you today and you don't check your butt because I said God too many times. Okay? But God, it's gonna make a way. All right, that's what I'm saying. But universe, but divine. However, all right. Also, I am available for one-on-one coaching. So if you are stuck in a cycle of frustration or overwhelm, if you're looking to live authentically, or if you're letting the past hold your future hostage, I'm definitely someone I can help you in that area. I'm available. I love to work with you guys because I definitely see that as part of my purpose here on life. It took me a while. I've been through some things myself, and I definitely understand what do the work, keep the faith means. And I want to be able to help and share that with other people who may be struggling, because it is a process, it really is. And it really encompasses a whole body approach, a holistic approach in overcoming these things. There is no one way to do this. And everything doesn't work for everybody. So your girl, Samara, your girl, has tried a lot. And I definitely have some things that I would love to be able to share with you all that could potentially help you get unstuck, to help you live a more fulfilling life, to express yourself authentically, and to just live a life of non-resistance where you are in a flow and you get to that place of knowing. Because I want us all to know. I need us to know. I need us to know. Okay? Because listen, it's very important. Let me tell you how important this is. And it's very important to get to a place of knowing. and this is sidebar because it's not what I've come to talk about today, but it's very important to get to a place of knowing, because knowing is where you can face life without fear. You can face life in all of its ups and downs with a level of certainty, which is something that people crave, right? And one of my quotes, and have heard me say this, is like, the only thing that I know for certain is that nothing is for certain. And that's the truth. Okay. The only thing that's for certain that I know is that God's gonna work it out. But God, okay? But God. But the universe, okay, come on. But that requires, and hear me clearly when I say this, it requires that you know that you believe that, okay? That you trust that. Because otherwise, what I just said has no meaning. It can be no but God if you don't know and trust and believe that all things are working for your favor and it's all working out for your good. If you don't have that knowingness, it does get difficult. Life gets very hard. And circumstances don't change in our lives. We change. The only thing that you can control is yourself. So it is important. That's why it's very important. That's why I created the program, Do the Work, Keep the Faith, because it's important for us to understand what it is that we can control, which is only ourselves. We are the only thing that we can control. And that includes what we believe. All right. So make sure that you reach out to me. My information is presented there on the screen for you. You can call me. That's my phone number. Please do call me, 240-988-3967, or you can actually text me, which is probably better because, yeah, just text me. And then you can send me an email at tellemchris@gmail.com, or you can send me a message on Instagram at Smart Video Girl. And I want to encourage you all to be your authentic selves, to show up as who God made you to be, right? I am a left and a right brainer. I am a creative and influential visionary who shows up authentically in all ways at all times and empowers others to think and live their best lives. And I want to thank you all today for being here, taking the time on this Thursday to be with me and to check our butts. Check your butt. So make sure that you go back, you watch this again, you share with a friend, you get together with your friends and check your butts and hold each other accountable. Okay. Check your butt. Check your friend's butt. Okay. Check your friend's butt. Tell your friend how their butt look. Let them know what their butt looks like. Okay. And we're talking about this in a way to help one another. We have to be accountable because sometimes we don't realize what we say and how we say it. And really, a good indicator of that is how we use the word but in our lives. So, first examine your butt, check your butt, and then check your friend's butt. And make sure that your butts are in line, they're not flat, and they're not superficial. All right. All right. With that being said, I am Smart Video Girl. Make sure that you tune in to my podcast, introducing the podcast every Tuesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And you're watching the Mindful Mondays. And I'm going to run the recap for that after this. After I close this out, just so you guys can check that out and make sure you like, share, and subscribe to the Only Greatness Media Production YouTube channel so you don't miss any of those things that I just talked about. All right. So, with that being said, you guys have a wonderful, blessed day, and I will see you next month. I will see you next month for another edition of The Work Is You Thursday. Peace out.